Welcome back to Advance Wars 2 Hard Campaign. If I sound depressing, that's because we're up to the final Battle of Green Earth, which is not difficult, not nearly enough to warrant 9 stars, but it is very, very tedious. And I'm not happy about having to play it. But I suppose I should just get right to it and explain what's going on. So, what's going on in this mission is that you actually have 3 armies. This is the first mission where you have 3 armies that you're in control of against Black Hole. It's a very, very big map to accommodate that, and there's going to be a lot of cannons, a lot of pipes. Well, not a lot of pipes, but the factory is very well defended. And it's going to be a little bit more difficult than simply slipping in an Eagle bomber and dropping the pipe in one hit. Because that bomber would have to go through quite a lot of enemy units, quite a lot of expensive enemy units. So the armies that are here to help us are Orange Star and Yellow Comet. I don't think there's any way to get Blue Moon into this mission. Would have been helpful to have them, though, I suppose. Maybe in place of Orange Star. Well, especially in place of Yellow Comet. Yellow Comet's not bad in this mission, but I would prefer Blue Moon, personally. So we've got Kanbei instead. We're definitely selecting Kanbei for Yellow Comet's part, and definitely Eagle for Green Earth's part. I don't see anyone else being used. Orange Star does not matter. It doesn't really matter who you pick. Pick Andy or Max if you really care that much. You just go with the first 3 options available for every country. Doesn't matter. Because as you will see when we get to the map, I think the camera is focused on Orange Star as part of the map first. Great sea battle. There's not going to be a single sea unit yet. Orange Star is completely useless. Those 5 properties are all they have. They're supposed to be in charge of the land part of this map. And I guess Yellow Comet got the sea part of the map. Like, I'll show you right now. Here's Green Earth's part. Obviously, they got the airport because they're supposed to be the air part of the mission. So I will go ahead and... I never know what to do with these first couple of units. They're not really going to be used at all. I suppose I will... I should probably actually go up to that city and get some more money. Gonna need that. So Orange Star is completely pointless. So for the first couple of turns, I'm just going to pass turn over and over. Like, the intention, I think, is that they're supposed to go to the right and destroy that black cannon, and the factory is all the way over here, so eventually they would maybe capture this base and get in here, slide a bomber through here and destroy the pipe, something like that, maybe. But that's all completely pointless, because Yellow Comet has access to this base over here, and using that lander they can get a rocket over to this black cannon, destroy that black cannon, because you need to do that, and then you have just barely enough range to shoot at this mini cannon with a rocket, and then shoot at the pipe seam behind that. That is the safest, most easy way to play the map, and what's unfortunate is all 3 of those armies have relatively low numbers of units. Hawk just gets so many units in this map. I have had multiple runs, like I've played this map a couple of times on hard mode. I've had multiple situations where he will actually hit the unit cap. If you have 50 units in Advance Wars 1, 2, and all of them really, you cannot build any more units. So that factory will be stuck doing absolutely nothing. And if you could stall the enemy to make sure that they, like, don't even destroy enemy units, just make sure that they can't build anymore. And make sure that none of them get destroyed, and then, like, you won't even have to worry about any units getting out of the factory. I don't think I used a bomber to destroy the pipe seam, though. So these first couple of turns are really just samey stuff. Like, I play them the same way every single time. And it is going to be... those bombers are going to be troubled because they could destroy your ground units as you're getting a rocket to that pipe. And that's the reason I would love to have Blue Moon in Yellow Comet's position. It is entirely because I would prefer grit, so that I could have his long range and not have to spend several turns getting the rocket into position, getting the... everything into position, really. Because you spend several turns just not doing anything. So I'm going to build a fighter. And that's simply because Yellow Comet is definitely going to need some air support. Bombers are a threat to them. B-copters are a threat to them. By the way, these C units, they don't move at all unless something gets into their range, so it's very easy to slip past them and get your infantry onto this little island here. Meanwhile, these infantry back here should just be capturing properties to get yourself some income. Because it is Kanbei, after all. You still need some money. I think I originally selected, like, Sensei or something when I played this, but that's completely pointless. You're not really going to use, like, the +1 to transporter movement doesn't really matter at all. Alright, so we got to be careful with Orange Star in particular. You've still got to be careful because if even one of your armies gets destroyed and loses all of their units or something, it's game over for them and game over for you. You can't lose even one of your armies. So, let's see, what should I build here? Do I build anything? I don't really think I need to build anything quite yet. Andy's going to need some anti-air units as well. And they're probably going to be missiles, so I guess this is another map where I prefer building missiles. Like, if that's worth a mention at all. And the reason for that is sometimes air units go after Andy instead of Eagle or Kanbei. And the bombers are just sitting there for some reason. But you can see what has happened in Andy's part of the map. That recon has moved into the choke point. And, like, I think I've gone over this strategy several times in the past already. But what's happening now is that with that recon just sitting there, there's nothing the enemy can do to get past it. Because the recon doesn't want to move out of the way. By the way, this is completely safe, by the way. Just moving your fighters as far as it'll go. And I don't really think there's any real need to use the silo quite yet, but having that on hand is very good. Alright, so Andy's turn again. Right, so as long as we don't destroy this recon, it's never going to fire at the tank, so it's not going to suicide or anything, but the medium tank can never attack it. So what we want is now a rocket. Even if I were max, I would still build this rocket, because indirect units are a threat. Because they could destroy the tank and allow Hawk's units to get past anyways. So that's still something you should pay attention to. Alright, so the base has been captured. Very soon it will be time to start producing rockets and send them on their way. Gotta watch out for this cruiser, by the way. I don't think I moved into its range. I hope I did not move into its range. Because I did not check. Oh, and the rocket also has the extra effect of diverting the first silo, but the recon is still not going to fire at the tank, so it's all good. I suppose the silos could destroy the tank, so what you will want to do, I think, is maybe like build a backup tank and swap it out while the other one heals, something like that. And as you've noticed, Hawk's turns are taking a while. So yeah, the rocket was still a worthy purchase. Even if the artillery doesn't move into the range of the rocket, it's still going to deter the enemy. Right, so I did not move into the cruiser range. You really want to watch that. I think this is safe. So it's really just a matter of keeping out of the cruiser's range. You can very easily fly past it. And we're just basically going to build nothing but fighters for Eagle. Like, there's really no reason to build anything else. Andy can't do anything at the moment. So you're probably wondering if this is going to get me a good rank or not. I doubt that. Because Hawk is going to build so many units that a good power score is very, very difficult to get. You have to destroy 5 or 6 units, and that's assuming he just reaches the unit cap. Like, if you're actually destroying units, then it could get even worse. You might have to destroy 7 or 8. Which is one of the reasons why Eagle is a good pick, because Lightning Strike increases the number of units that you could destroy in a single turn. And I'm building fighters exclusively, so let's hope he sends a lot of air units down there. Alright, so I guess you could say the Eagle has landed, because we now have a fighter over here. Again, the fighters are mainly for helping out destroy enemy air units. Because it... Oh, wrong base. It takes a lot of effort to put some money into anti-air for Kanbei. And, you know, it bears repeating again that only Eagle's power and technique scores... I think that's how it works. Like, I'm still not 100% certain. But it seems that only Eagle and Andy's... well, not Eagle and Andy's. Only Eagle's power and technique scores actually matter. Like, speed is a universal thing, so it doesn't matter whose turn you ended on. It's going to count whatever day it was. Look at that. 2 anti-airs and a Neo-Tank. Isn't that fun? I suppose I could use the missile silos to push through and destroy that airport. Oh, I've actually... Yeah. That's unfortunate. The enemy always aims for where it can do the most money damage, so it probably saw that it could do more money damage down there than with Andy. And the bombers have changed course, so they didn't even have enough fuel to get to me first. But you can see why I built the fighters now. There's an enemy fighter approaching. And, like, that's not even a threat. Kanbei's not using any air units, but, you know, if you want to get at least a decent power score, you should at least send some fighters down there to deal with any incoming air units. So that's fine. Now, it's possible that an enemy B-copter will get into the green area. So I'll just pull back. See what the enemy does. Yeah, I was actually thinking of using Emulator Turbo, but I haven't really needed it so far. Gosh, this map is so big, though. Alright, so where can this fighter go? I want to move it off the base so that Kanbei has room to maneuver. But I gotta plan ahead because I gotta think of the silos that I'm going to fire eventually as well. So let's go thereabouts. That's good. Well, at least Andy didn't get hit by the silo. I guess that's a plus. Isn't it amazing how he's always cannon fodder in every game? Like, he's never important to any strategies. Alright, let's see if that's enough for a one-shot. No, not, actually, but that's okay. Well, they're gonna grab that airport, which I don't like, but not much that I can do about it at this point. Oh, that was actually in range of the black cannon? I didn't realize that. Like, it's impossible to tell what that thing's range is just by looking at it. Oh yeah, he went for Kanbei's units, but he didn't go for the rocket. If he had gone for the rocket, that would have been painful. But there's another silo there still. So you never know. They're retreating for the cruiser. That's actually pretty funny. Oh, what did you do that for? You blocked off your own airport. You didn't need to move there if you were waiting for the... Well, if he wasn't going to build anything, it probably doesn't matter, but still. I would love to get Lightning Strike on this turn, so let's see, how can we accomplish that? We can do that by destroying these two. I'm just going all in. I want that Lightning Strike, and I want it right now. We've got to deal a lot of damage, but it could very well happen. Go for the undamaged bomber. Or even the fighter. I've got to do math now. So this would get 5,000 plus. That action would probably get 1 star. This, I think, what's 50% of 22? I'm going with this. That gave me 1 star, so this should give me another star. Oh yeah, my math is on point. See, isn't it nice to know exactly the numbers? It is time for Lightning Strike, and it's going to be good. Not that it amounts to much, but it basically means we get the fighters over here out of danger. And it means we can destroy a couple more units, so full power score is probably not too much of a... It's probably not as unbelievable as it once was. Is that the word for it? Alright, I'm gonna need some luck. A lot of luck. I got an 8 out of 10 shot at destroying this. I think it's 8 out of 10, I don't know. Nope, didn't happen. But, yeah, that amounted to 3 units destroyed in a single turn. Is that in range of the cruiser? Oh, darn it, that's in range of the cruiser. I completely mucked that up. But it's not a big deal. Andy still just sits there and does nothing. Let's just pretend he's really dumb. That'll explain it. Oh, Kanbei can't even get at the bomber. Oh well. Kanbei losing a unit is not bad, I think, because it doesn't even count for technique, but it's still annoying. And we've almost got another black wave coming, so we gotta watch that too. Oh, I did not expect that. You've gotta be kidding me. Rocket shoots tank, and that gives him the black wave. Wow, a rocket appearing at that precise moment. If that destroys this run, he could shoot the rocket. He could shoot the rocket, I just realized. I should have prioritized the bomber, because now he can destroy the... He could just choose to take down the rocket. He chose to take down the rocket! This is gonna take a billion more turns. So yes, if you can't see why I dislike this map, just imagine how much longer this would have taken if I had to, like, I don't even know if there's a way to do this any quicker. I've never liked these hour-long battles. I've played Super Famicom Wars all the way through to the end, like, at least up until the final mission anyways. I know how painful it is to just sit there and do the same, like, clicking over and over again. I don't like it. I don't like this map because it's very reminiscent of that. But it doesn't matter because it is over now. We are free. And I never have to play this again unless the recording messes up. In which case I will be more than aware the next time not to let a bomber destroy my rocket and take, like, a bunch more time just to clean out this map and finally let us move on to... This is going to be an entire video on its own. I don't know. And where there's life, there's opportunity. No, Hawk. It's where there's life, there is hope. Gosh, I'm sweating. I don't know what to do with the footage. What am I gonna do? Do I edit it down or something, or do I just upload it completely raw? Nobody's gonna watch that. That was like the slowest, most boring strategy I could have used, but it was also the safest. And anything that stops me from having to take a bunch more time is much, much more attractive than, Yep, we still got 2 more maps. And now we can finally follow the pipes to the Black Hole HQ and finish them off. 2 more missions. Both of them are against Sturm. And they're both... I would not want to play through them again after this. Let's just put it that way. The grand total is a B rank. So worrying about power, and that was not even the maximum score for speed. How was that not the maximum score for speed? 24 days wasn't the maximum? What was I supposed to do to make this go any quicker than that? Was that the intended strategy? That had better not have been the intended strategy. Next time we take on Sturm. And hopefully my brain holds and does not melt or anything. See you guys later. I'm relaxed. Are you relaxed? I'd better be relaxed. See those 10 stars? Game's not kidding. This is the second to last mission. And, both of the final two missions are pretty long-ish. So what I will do is I'm going to record both as separate videos and then maybe splice them together if they don't take up too much time and can comfortably fit into a single video. And both final maps have 3 armies against Sturm. You can pick from any of the 4 countries, which is good because we kind of need all the strong COs we can get. So, I already know what I'm doing for the final 2 maps. Kanbei for the first army, and Eagle for the second, and finally Grit for the third. Interestingly, you can only pick 1 CO from each country, I think. So if you pick a Blue Moon CO, you can't pick another Blue Moon CO. I'm not really sure what the point of that is. It doesn't really balance things out much. But it does stop you from using 2 armies of the same color. I think that's what they wanted to avoid. Even though it wouldn't be completely weird for an Orange Star CO to be controlling the green army, because that's what happens in versus mode. But they do the color swapping thing even in War Room, so if you pick a Black Hole CO, that's one way you can play as the black units. And that's why there are no mini cannons or anything, because then they would suddenly be under your control. Yes, the only thing stopping you from getting hit by the black cannon is a coat of black paint. Speaking of black cannons, we have 3 of them we're supposed to destroy. And it is a pre-deployed... Well, the enemy has only pre-deployed units to start with. There's 48 enemy units, just 2 short of the maximum, which is very odd. But that means your priority is preventing CERN from getting any of the bases, because then he can get more units, and he's probably built up so much money that he'll be spamming Neo-tanks. But, you know, if you destroy the infantry, that's not an issue. Oh boy, oh boy. I don't remember this on normal mode, but hard mode. Boy. Thanks for giving me all of this advice after I've chosen my CO, Sonia. That's nice of you, by the way. Alright, let's begin. So, normally this would be a very difficult map, because you can see that the mini cannons are blocking off Sturm's units from getting into your area. But there's one tiny little choke point in the center that they can use to get to you. So what happens is all of the black units in the center here are going to pile up in front of the black cannon and then just come out of here like, I don't know, like something that you would shoot out of a tiny little thing. Oh, this is getting weird. You cannot touch that airport because that's in range of the mini cannons. And the black cannon range just so happens to overlap with the mini cannon range. Like, not a whole lot, but it does overlap. So going forward with Kanbei, or the middle army rather, would be very difficult because you would have to fight against not only the enemy units, you'd be fighting against the enemy units while under fire from those black cannons, so that would be very difficult. And they are Sturm units. Sturm in Advanced Wars 2, I think, has plus 20 attack and defense, and he has the terrain modification as well, so he never has to deal with movement cost. Which is very, very annoying, because you've got high defensive units, and you've got a bunch of stuff that's working against you. Like, the only advantage you have is that he only has pre-deployed units to start. But it turns out that Hot Pursuit has an exploit. And unfortunately, it is a luck-based exploit. There's a 50-50 shot that it works. So we'll see what that is. And if it does not work for me, well, I would normally just restart the recording over and over until I got it to work. But I'm not going to do that. I have a save state where it did work. So I'm just going to load that. And before anyone comes to me and starts saying that save states is illegal, yada yada yada, there is an in-game function for saving. So, I need to set this up. I have not set this up properly, so this could get weird. The tank should be one space forward. Yeah, I've already messed up, I think. Actually, I think if I go here, it should be fine. Yeah, we'll see. At any rate, I still have that save state where it did work, so whatever. So yeah, using a save state should be no different from using the in-game save function. Like, I'm not exactly happy about relying on a luck-based strategy, but I don't know what the alternative is, because if you lose even one of the armies, then it's game over. Just like in Great Sea Battle. So you have to keep Kanbei alive at all costs, and, you know... it's just a lot. This is a really demanding map, I think, unless you use this exploit. Let's make sure, I have Grit's units in position. As for my CO choices, Kanbei is for exploiting the map. Eagle is just because spamming B-copters is a really good way to get to the first black cannon on the left. Because Sturm has his Navy units on that side of the map. Actually, he has Navy units on both sides. He doesn't really have any air units, actually. There's not a single air unit. Like, Sturm, what are you doing? Well, no matter. So I guess maybe Sensei on the other map side of the map would be alright too, but we're already using a Yellow Comet CO, so no go there. But the important thing is, getting at that center black cannon is the hard part, because you have to fight through so many units in order to do it, so we're just going to snipe it with Grit. That's how it's going to work. Destroy that unit so that this mech goes on the airport and decides to capture it. So as you can see, I need 5% extra damage in order to destroy this mech. It's critically important. So 50-50 shot. And it didn't work. It never seems to work for some reason. So I have to go into the emulator and load the state. As you can see, this is a better unit formation here. And it's more or less the same as the attempt I just had. So, yeah. Nope, didn't work. Have to do it again. See, just imagine resetting every time this doesn't work. Doesn't work again. Actually, maybe if I just shoot one time first. There we go. That's how it's done. Oh, that might be trouble, though. I did not want the infantry to go down to 4 HP. Oh, boy. Well, you'll see how it's supposed to work either way, I guess. Alright, so with that out of the way, basically all Kanbei is going to do once the exploit is set up is he's going to be meteor fodder. Like, he's going to draw away every one of Sturm's meteors. Now, as for the power and technique scores, the only army that the game cares about, as far as scoring goes, is whoever finishes off the final black cannon. So that's probably going to be Grit. Actually, this was a weird game state to be in, because this artillery is going to get destroyed. Oh well. Like, in my experience, Grit doesn't really lose a huge amount of his units when I play this. And another reason Grit's good is because he can destroy those battleships with his artillery. The artillery are good enough to destroy the battleships. He doesn't really need to worry about the subs. You don't strictly need a lander or anything, or any sea units at all, really. So I don't know why the sub is even there, because the army on the right always starts with an airport. Which might make you think that's the ideal spot for Eagle, but I guess you could switch Grit and Eagle's positions if you wanted to. Alright, the big moment. I do not want this infantry to be destroyed. There is a slim chance that it could be. It did not. Alright, so that means we can continue. I did not want to have to reset after everything else going according to plan. Alright, so now Kanbei is just going to sit there and do absolutely nothing else, because now that it's at 1 HP, the infantry thinks that it has to get as far away from my units as possible and get back for repairs, but it can't do that because it's being blocked by all of Sturm's other units. So now it's entirely stuck in place. Fun, huh? Don't you just love exploiting the game? Like, this isn't even an AI problem. Well, I guess it is an AI problem, but seriously. Alright, so we've got our bomber going, and we're probably going to produce a lot of B-copters as well. So now that all the units in the center have basically been neutralized, it's up to whatever is on the left and right sides, and there's not a whole lot. Like, it should be very easy for Eagle to get to that black cannon with a bomber. Even if the black cannon decides to shoot at the bomber, like, it's still not that much damage taken. I mean, well, it's not that much of a setback, basically. And as for Grit, all he has to do... Yeah, he's basically going to be spamming artillery. So yes, the infantry won't shoot because it's in retreat mode, and it won't be able to run because the other units are clogging the place up. Glorious AI, is it not? Oh wow, that tank couldn't even destroy the infantry. That's very weird. I guess I got lucky there too. So basically the only worry here is, like, if you're going for an S rank, power is going to be a worry, because the army that finishes the map has to have destroyed like 5 units in a single turn, which might be a bit difficult. I can't build anything else, actually. So let's see what he does. Actually, his Meteor has arrived. And the thing about the Meteor is, it's basically always going to go for Kanbei because of all of the expensive units that are clogged together. And then over the next couple of turns, they'll just repair back to full HP, probably in time for the next Meteor. Oh, he went for the silo. He's going for both of the silos, which means the bomber is going to be rendered less useful. So yeah, we're just chipping away at the installations. Now the next step is to... The next step for Grit is to break through this pipe and then set up his artillery for a super snipe at the final cannon. But we can't do that until... Eagle has finished up with his cannon. And might as well join those 2 units. They're not doing anything. But hey, one of the cannons is gone. Only a couple more to go. I'm hoping Eagle gets a lightning strike at some point. I don't really imagine how that would be accomplished. Oh, maybe with a bomber against the cruiser. He does only need 18,000 more star power. And this would get him 9,000 of it. Or a little more than 9,000. You know what? Actually, go ahead. This will probably get us a Sturm Meteor as well, but we've established that that's no longer a problem. Nope, he's not getting it. So yeah, I guess going for a lightning strike was not a huge problem. Or something yeah. Moving on, we're almost ready to get in there and do Grit's thing. Kind of, yeah, my commentary lately has been kind of not so good because I had to deal with Great Sea Battle, and that took ages, and this is taking ages as well. 30 minutes on one mission, and I'm still not using Emulator Turbo. Well, I think I used it in, well, I did use it in Great Sea Battle, obviously, but I haven't used it yet here. Eventually, Eagle should get his power. The cannon only has 39 HP left. Like, we'll get to it eventually, people. And then we'll have the final map, and who knows what that'll be like. Alright, so I guess we can start breaking through here. Because as soon as you break the pipe open, then the enemy will start moving. And, it'll take a little while for the artilleries to get into their positions. But I don't think Sturm will be able to reach us before then. Now that the pipe is open, the units should start moving. Although they don't move a huge amount, though, because they still want to move down, but they can't. Like, only one unit has moved off to the right. Right, hopefully I can... Oh, Lightning Strike is ready, so that's good. We can actually use it. Don't know why I'm making all of these extra moves, because, I mean, destroying the battleship isn't really, like, imperative or anything. Kanbei's the only one who's not going to get to use his power. Shame on him. Alright, that's cannon number 2. And it'll be just one more turn before cannon number 3 is gone. And then we can move on to the final map. Yeah, there needs to be 2 artillery in position. Better move 1 here to block off the anti-air. This Meteor should go for Kanbei. It could go for Eagle, because Eagle's done with his job. And it went for Kanbei like always. Such an easily diverted power. Oh, how the mighty have fallen. Of course, I'm sure the final map will be a pain as always. Just as long as it's not like a 40-minute death match or anything. Gotta watch these units get supplied over and over. And Eagle's done. And now the super. Well, that was long and very painful. But there's still one map to go. As you can see with Super Snipe's range boost, this is just enough to destroy the final cannon. There we go. The second to last mission completed. A missile platform, is that any different from a silo? Yep, it's the usual for these guys. It might be a trap, but we have to go anyways. Thank you, Eagle. That is just like you. You know, Andy's right. This is a lot of talking with nothing being said. There we go. Finally. So the score is not so good. Another B rank. One more nut to crack. Does every CO have a quote like that for if you beat the map with them? That'd be actually pretty attentive to detail, but whatever. Alright, boys and girls, only one more map to go. And they've saved the toughest ones to last, so it should be interesting. See you later, everybody.